Once upon a time, in a quiet corner of a green valley, lived a widow and her only son, Jack. Their house was no more than 4 wooden walls with a leaky roof, where the cold wind often slipped in during rainy nights. Their days were long, and the cupboards echoed with emptiness. Their only source of survival was a bony old cow named Milky White, who gave less milk with each passing day. One morning, after boiling the last bit of porridge and scraping the last crumb from their bread tin, Jack's mother sat on the stool near the hearth with tired eyes. "Jack," she said gently, though sadness lined her voice, "we must sell Milky White. Go to the village market and see what you can get. But promise me you won't be tricked." Jack nodded solemnly, kissed her forehead, and led Milky White down the winding road. The road to the market twisted past singing streams and whispering trees. As Jack walked, leading the old cow with a rope, he noticed a man standing under a crooked sycamore tree. The man wore a coat patched with stars and boots that shone like silver. His eyes sparkled like someone who had seen wonders. "Where are you off to, young Jack?" the man asked, stroking his beard. Jack hesitated. "To sell my cow, sir." The man chuckled. "What if I told you I had something far better than coins?" Jack blinked. "Better than coins?" With a flourish, the man pulled out a small pouch and opened it. Inside were 5 beans, each one glowing faintly as if they had tiny flames dancing within them. "These," said the man, "are magic beans. Plant them at sunset, and by dawn your life will change." Jack hesitated. Coins meant food, but magic? That meant hope. He gave Milky White to the man and clutched the pouch tightly as he walked back home, heart pounding. When Jack's mother saw the beans, her face paled. "You sold our cow for this?" she cried, her voice cracking. Before Jack could explain, she flung the beans out the window, slammed the door, and collapsed in a chair, weeping softly. That night, Jack lay in bed wide awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling guilt wash over him like cold rain. But outside, something was happening. The wind shifted, thunder rolled, and from the dark, damp soil, a shoot burst forth, green, alive, growing with impossible speed. By morning, the cottage was cast in shadow. Jack stepped outside and gasped. The beanstalk had grown so high it vanished into the clouds above. His heart raced. Curiosity overpowered fear. Without a word, he gripped the thick vine and began to climb. He climbed for hours. Birds flew past him. Clouds brushed against his face. The air grew thin and cool. At last, he reached the top and stepped into another world. There, in the skylands, fields stretched out with golden flowers and rivers that shimmered like glass. In the distance stood a castle so huge its turrets scraped the sky. Jack crept toward it and knocked. A giantess opened the door. Her shadow fell over him like a mountain. "What do you want, little boy?" she asked, surprised. "I'm hungry, please." Her face softened. "Come in quickly. But beware. If my husband finds you, hell turn you into stew." She served him bread the size of wagon wheels and cheese like boulders. But then, boom, boom, boom. The ground shook. The doors rattled. Jack dove under the table. The giant thundered in. "Fifofum. I smell the blood of an Englishman." His wife scolded him. "It's just the roast, dear." Grumbling, the giant sat down with a huge bag of gold coins. He counted them aloud, then dozed off. Jack tiptoed from under the table, grabbed a sack, and ran. Back at home, Jack and his mother rejoiced. With the gold, they bought food, mended their roof, and for the first time in years, slept full and warm. But Jack's mind wandered back to the castle in the clouds. What other treasures might it hide? So one misty morning, he climbed again. This time, the giantess frowned when she saw him. "You again? My husband will be furious." "I'll leave before he returns," Jack promised. She fed him anyway. But again the giant returned. Jack hid just in time. This time, the giant brought out a hen with golden feathers. "Lay," he commanded, and to Jack's amazement, the hen laid a golden egg. When the giant slept, Jack crept out, snatched the hen, and hurried home. Now Jack and his mother lived comfortably. But Jack wasn't done. On his third climb, he returned to the castle. The giantess refused to let him in, but Jack snuck through a window. Inside, he watched the giant play a beautiful golden harp. It sang songs without strings being touched, songs that sounded like sunlight and rivers, sadness and joy. Jack waited. When the giant finally snored, Jack reached out and grabbed the harp. But the harp shrieked, "Master, help!" The giant awoke, roaring. Jack ran as fast as his legs could carry him, harp in hand. The beanstalk came into view. He swung onto it and began climbing down as the clouds roared behind him. The giant followed. The sky turned dark. Jack could feel the beanstalk trembling. "Mother, bring the axe," he shouted as he neared the ground. His mother ran with all her strength, and together they chopped. The beanstalk shook, cracked, and with a tremendous crash, it fell, bringing the giant with it, who vanished into the earth with a thunderous groan. Silence returned. Jack and his mother stood among the splinters, hearts pounding. Jack planted no more beans, but from the magic he had brought back, the gold, the hen, and the harp, he built a new life. Their cottage became a house. Their hunger became a memory. Jack learned to work hard, to share, and to treasure the wonder that had come from believing in something more. As for the beanstalk, it never grew again. But some nights, when the stars are just right, Jack stands at the window, holding the singing harp, and wonders what other worlds lie hidden above the clouds.